What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Thursday, October 2nd, 2014, delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RAYMELO, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can also listen to the Entertainment Report anytime, anywhere around the world. Just go to iHeartRadio and search for the Entertainment Report, and it will take you to the iHeartRadio page of this program. NBC News has identified the 33-year-old cameraman who tested positive for the Ebola virus while on assignment in Africa as Ashoka Mukpo. Dr. Nancy Snyderman, NBC's news chief medical editor and correspondent, will be in quarantine along with the rest of her news crew for 21 days, though she assures MSNBC's Rachel Maddow that they are very healthy and present zero to minimum risk. They are all being flown back to the United States, where Mukpo will receive treatment while Snyder and her crew voluntarily go into quarantine for 3 weeks. Snyderman said, "We all have thermometers on us at all times. We are required not to shake hands. We washed our hands and feet with bleach. We want to be respectful to our colleagues and the U.S. public because we know this is not a casually transmitted disease, and because we don't have any symptoms, we present zero to minimum risk." Mukpo began showing symptoms on Wednesday, immediately quarantined himself and sought medical advice. He was taken to the Medicine Science Frontiers Treatment Center, where he tested positive for the virus. Current estimates put the number of infected during the Ebola epidemic at 7,157. The virus has claimed the lives of more than 3,300 that live on Guinea, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. The first person diagnosed on American soil was Liberian Thomas Eric Duncan. He was diagnosed at a Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital in Dallas, with public health officials in that state estimating he may have come in contact with as many as 100 people before he was put into isolation. Google is being threatened with a $100 million lawsuit over the new celebrity photo hacking scandal. In an October 1st letter addressed high-ranking Google executives, prominent Hollywood attorney Marty Singer says his Los Angeles-based firm, Levy and Singer, is representing, quote, over a dozen female celebrities, actresses, models, and athletes who feel Google failed to remove explicit photos from its services after hackers stole them from the Apple iCloud and posted them online in August. Singer wrote to Google CEO Larry Page and Executive Chairman Eric Schmidt, "Google is making millions and profiting from the victimization of women. As a result of your blatantly unethical behavior, Google is exposed to significant liability in both compensatory and punitive damages that could well exceed $100 million. Google did not yet respond to the Rap's request for comment. Singer says the vast majority of websites, internet service providers, and online hosts his firm asked to remove the images have compiled in accordance with the requirements of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. But Google has recklessly allowed these blatant violations to continue in conscious disregard for his clients' rights." Singer did not specify who his clients were, but famous victims of hack include Jennifer Lawrence, Selena Gomez, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Kate Upton, and Kristen Dunst. Singer is not only demanding any and all images be removed from Google's search results, but also Google hosted sites, Bloodsport accounts, and YouTube accounts, plus suspension or termination of those accounts. He also accuses the company of handling the hacking scandal as poorly as the NFL handled its players' domestic violence offenses, like the blatant abuse Ray Rice dished out on his wife in an Atlantic City casino elevator. The letter states, "If your wives, daughters, or relatives were the victims of such blatant violations of basic human rights, surely you would take appropriate action. Because the victims are celebrities with valuable publicity rights, you do nothing but collect millions of dollars in advertising revenues for your co-conspirators, advertising partners, as you seek to capitalize on this scandal rather than quash it. Like the NFL, which turned a blind eye while its players assaulted and victimized women and children, Google has turned a blind eye while its sites repeatedly exploit and victimize these women." Just hours after Real Housewives of New Jersey stars Teresa and Joe Guiducci were ordered to spend time in the slammer, Bravo announced the reality television personalities would be sitting down for their first post-sentencing interview on Watch What Happens Live. The interview will air as part of a special episode on Monday night with host Andy Cohen, the cable network said in a statement. News of Bravo's get came on Thursday, the same day that Teresa was sentenced to 15 months in prison in a bankruptcy and fraud case, and husband Joe Guiducci receiving a sentence of 41 months. The sentences were handed down at a courthouse in New Jersey earlier in the day. The couple initially pleaded not guilty in August of 2013 to 39 counts, including mail fraud, wire fraud, bank fraud, bankruptcy fraud, making false statements on loan applications, and failure to file tax returns. Those amounts to more than 50 years maximum time combined in prison and more than $1.5 million in combined fines. But in March, the Guiduccis pleaded guilty to one count of mail and wire fraud and 3 counts of bankruptcy fraud. Joe also pleaded guilty to a count of failing to file a tax return. Before his sentencing, Joe told the court, "I stand here humiliated before the court and my family and society. I disgraced many people, including my wife and 4 daughters. I take full responsibility for my actions. I promise to be a better person." The pair will stagger their sentences for the sake of their 4 daughters. It is not known if Joe, who is not a U.S. citizen, will be deported after he serves his sentence. Netflix's move into the film production business has much more to do with the subscription video giant's global aspirations than with making a mark in Hollywood. The streaming service and now TV and movie production company announced Thursday that it will bankroll 4 Adam Sandler films. That's on the heels of its decision earlier this week to fund the sequel to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. The moves, coming within days of each other, generated a storm of publicity and, in the case of Crouching Tiger, criticism, along with some goodwill on Wall Street. But financially, they represent just a drop in the bucket in terms of its overall spending strategy. Netflix content chief Ted Sarandos announced earlier this year that it would spend $3 billion on making TV and movies in 2014. While Netflix may not have reached its peak penetration levels in the United States, it's getting close, and the company's primary growth potential lies in its ability to woo customers as the service rolls out in Europe, Asia, and other overseas regions. Currently, 3/4 of Netflix's some 50 million subscribers are in the U.S., while the company has barely scratched the surface internationally, where 80% of the world's internet users are. The company will, quote, likely maintain the status quo in the U.S., but this may allow it to get more exclusive content in international markets. Jenny Montgomery Scott analyst Tony Whipple said, "It's very hard to pencil in a profit on its Crouching Tiger deal with the Weinstein Company and IMAX. It will also be all but impossible to recoup the $40 million plus that the company spent on what is basically a directed-video martial arts title, especially since U.S. and European exhibitors have drawn a line in the sand and won't play it." The Sandler deal is different in part because the size, cost, and intent of making the films is unclear at this point. Sandler and his Happy Madison production company still have a deal and a history of success at Sony Pictures, so it's logical that studio or another major the deal's non-exclusive would remain the launch pad for standard Sandler movies, which typically come with a budget in the $70 million to $80 million range, with a proportionated marketing outlay. Whether Netflix ramps up its operations and takes on that kind of project remains to be seen, but it could be an ideal platform for the comedian's smaller projects. While his films have taken in $3.9 billion worldwide over the past 2 decades, the 48-year-old actor's star appears to be fading, at least in the U.S. Blended, his Warner Brothers comedy this summer was a disappointment and failed to crack $50 million in the U.S. But this deal isn't about domestic audiences. Analyst Larry Tan said it would be more worried if they picked some American-based indie movies. He also added, "This is comedy. If you want something that appeals to a global audience, you can't do Jon Stewart. It's a good global play." Snoop Dogg has been a rapper and actor, more recently a purveyor of virtual stickers. Now he can add another title, venture capitalist. The hip-hop star from Long Beach, California, is among a group of investors in a $50 million financing round for Reddit, the frantic link-sharing and discussion site, according to an announcement on Tuesday. Investors valued the company at a reported $500 million. A number of prominent technology investors took part in the financing, including Mark Anderson, Peter Thiel, Ron Conway, and Josh Kushner, among others. Academy Award-winning actor Jared Leto, who sometimes make angel investments, also participated. The deal was led by Sam Altman, the president of the startup incubator Combinator, which backed Reddit, which debuted in 2005. The financing round featured an experimental twist. The investors planned to give 10% of their shares for users of the site, possibly through a virtual currency that would be backed by the shares. Mr. Altman said that the move was an acknowledgement that the users had, quote, already invested their time to create value. But Snoop Dogg's participation was particularly meaningful for Reddit's users. Among celebrities who led Ask Me Anything discussion formats on Reddit, the rapper is especially popular, more than willing to talk about a topic that is a favorite among the site's users, marijuana. Mr. Altman said of Snoop Dogg, he's like a Reddit superstar. The site loves him. When Mr. Altman made the initial offer to Reddit, he said he asked the company for a wish list of investors. Snoop was high on the list, Mr. Altman said. We asked him to invest, and he said yes. Snoop has already dipped a toe in technology. His app, Snoopified, lets people add sticks of joints, marijuana leaves, and related paraphernalia to their mobile phone photos. With the Reddit investment, however, Snoop Dogg was listed among Silicon Valley royalty. He appealed to relish his new insider status. Charlie Sheen admits he went crazy in a dentist's chair last week, but insists he was not on drugs. He had a horrible reaction to nitrous oxide, and the technician who was making the allegation is just bitter because she was fired for violating the law. Charlie's rep Jeff Ballard told TMZ Charlie was on meds for a shoulder injury, and the combo of the RX he was on along with the nitrous caused the reaction. TMZ told Charlie's arm did flail, and he accidentally knocked over the dental instruments on the tray, but that was it. Furthermore, Charlie's lawyer Marty Singer told TMZ the story is being made up by this woman, the dental technician who was fired on Friday for violating HIPAA by telling her son Charlie was in the office. It got back to Charlie and the dentist fired her. As TMZ reported, the technician told cops the dentist told her Charlie came at him with a knife, and his bodyguard said he was on rock cocaine. But law enforcement sources told TMZ the dentist was interviewed Thursday and was cleared with cops. The technician was lying. There was no mention of drugs and no knife. A law enforcement sources familiar with the situation told TMZ, given that the dentist refutes the technician's story, the case was almost certainly be rejected by prosecutors. After welcoming their brand new bundle of joy on Wednesday, former That 70s Show co-stars Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher have now revealed the name of their baby daughter. Kutcher took to his website A+ this Thursday evening to introduce his daughter to the world. He wrote, Mila and I would like to welcome Wyatt Isabel Kutcher to the world, wrote Kutcher. May your life be filled with wonder, love, laughter, health, happiness, curiosity, and privacy. Kutcher then challenged readers to guess which of several photos of babies is actually Wyatt. The pics include some very cute infants as well as a puppy and what appears to be a baby llama, technically referred to as a cryary. Kutcher asked, can you guess which one is ours, or does it really matter? All babies are cute. So congratulations to them. Video game retailer GameStop will host midnight launch parties at more than 2,000 of its United States locations Thursday night to celebrate the launch of Super Smash Bros. For 3DS. One can attend one of the launch parties to be one of the first gamers to buy a copy of the Smash Bros. Series portable debut. GameStop's launch parties include tournaments and giveaways, and there will also be snacks on hand. In addition, GameStop has announced that anyone who buys a copy of Super Smash Bros. For 3DS during the launch event will be able to buy the game's e-guide for $2. Normally this sells for $10. The Wii U version of the game is launching sometime this holiday, potentially November 11th. One may not have to wait that long to play either version. However, as Nintendo just recently announced plans to bring the games on a national-wide college football stadium tour. And finally, pop star Jordan Sparks will probably return ex-boyfriend Jason Derulo's Christmas gift. Jordan Sparks rocked an animal print skirt while dropping by Sirius XM radio for the Ryan Seacrest show to promote her new film Left Behind on Wednesday in New York City. On the same day, the 24-year-old entertainer appeared on the Wendy Williams show, where she talked about returning the BMW that former boyfriend, R&B singer Jason Derulo, bought her for Christmas last year. Jordan shared about the BMW. I haven't really had time to think about it, but yeah, I probably will. He can have it. And that is your entertainment report for Thursday, October 2nd, 2014. I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back to wrap things up tomorrow, delivering some of for the week, to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello. That's RayMelo, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime, anywhere around the world on iHeartRadio. Just search on The Entertainment Report, and it will take you to the iHeartRadio page of the show. You can listen to this episode and any previous episodes of the program. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.